So this is the deck I was playing at Nationals, Mystic Mine Burn. I decided to play Mine because I know that Despia just cannot win against Mine. I sadly didn't have many Despia matchups. I had one and I won that one 2-0. So I was playing 3 Mystic Mine, obviously. Then I was playing 3 Extravagance and 3 Duality, just to draw deeper into the deck. And then I was playing cards that get me my Mine as well. I was playing 1 Left Arm Offering, because I was playing kind of a hybrid between a going first and going second build, in case I lose the die roll. Then 3 Planet Pathfinder. I never got punished for using my normal summon on him. 1 Terraforming, 1 Metaverse, 3 Demise of the Land. I had 1 Flunder matchup, and obviously I drew 2 out of the 3 Demise of the Land against Flunder. Just really great. Then 2 Prohibition, because sometimes I'm going second. 3 is not that good. 2 Goddess Scald. You can play 3, but opening 2 of these is just a dead card. Like you can open 3 Prohibition and it's still fine, but if you open 3 Goddess Scald, they just don't do much. I was playing 3 Field Barrier. I had 2 matches against Adventure, and Field Barrier is horrible in that matchup because they can, with Draco back, return the Mystic Mine under Field Barrier, and that's an auto lose for you. My matchups were really bad, and I still played 5-4, which I think is really good. I was playing 2 Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. 3 would be too much, because especially I can just side in a third one. I got a third one on the side deck. And 3 Solemn Judgment and 3 Dark Bribe. Dark Bribe is really cool because it doesn't pay any life points and it doesn't have to discard, so it's good in the, if you play it in time. Then my Wincon, 1 Cauldron of the Old Man. I decided for Cauldron specifically because of time, and I won 1 game in time against Sword Soul because of Cauldron. I had 16,800 life points against them with 20 seconds left, and they had just outed my Mine, but they couldn't deal enough damage to win in time, and I won that match. Then, as I said, I'm playing kind of a hybrid of a going first and going second deck. I'm playing 3 Dark Ruler No More in main deck and 3 Amano Iwato in main deck. Amano Iwato didn't help much, mostly because I never drew it when I needed to. When I decided to go first, when I won the die roll, I half of the time drew into an Amano Iwato, and Dark Ruler No More was pretty good, though, I have to say. Like I drew the Dark Ruler No More exactly when I needed it. I played against Adventure Punk, again horrible matchup because Adventure, and I could Dark Ruler No More them in the first game, then use Mystic Mine, Skull Block them, set 2 negates, won the first game, lost the second one, and the third one I won because I can tell you later, with some spicy stuff in my side deck, I could hold the board very nice. Now my side deck. I was playing 1 Left Arm Offering. If I go first, I can side in a second one. I was playing a 3rd Prohibition. Prohibition is good because once I remove a problem card that my opponent has, even if I go second, for example, sometimes I sided this in, even if I knew I would go second against the Adventure matchup, because then I would Cosmic Cyclone their Draco back and Prohibition Draco back, or get rid of Draco back another way and just Prohibition the Draco back. Then I was playing, as I said, 1 Cosmic Cyclone. I said you don't own more of these. Definitely play 3 of this if you can. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. This is good because sometimes your opponents set removal against you in hopes to use it later on, and then you can just Harpy's Feather Duster them and all their removal is gone. Then a 3rd Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Again, this is if you go first, you can side this in. Now a side deck card that I never used, sadly, or that I just never had any use for. D-barrier. Everybody's playing 3 D-barrier in their side deck. I never used this, not a single time. I never felt the need to side this in. If you play this deck, just play 2 Cosmic instead of this. And the third one you can play something else. Unending Nightmare maybe. I was playing 1 Unending Nightmare. I initially played 2. 2 would have been better. I played twice against Eldritch, which I didn't expect. Like, who plays Eldritch this format? And it wasn't even combo Eldritch. Like, it was one Eldritch that was just playing Branded Fusion to go into Dragoon, and 1 normal Eldritch match. The Eldritch match, the first one I won. The second with Branded Eldritch I lost, but I lost in time, which was so frustrating because I had, I think, 1,000 life points less than my opponent because I had Solemn Judgmented them earlier, and I could have gained life points with Cauldron and maybe 1 or 2 more turns, so that I would have had more life points than my opponent. So if you can play more than 1 Unending Nightmare, as I said, you can put out a D-barrier for this instead. Unending Nightmare is just killer against the Eldritch matchup because this can pop 7 Eldritch traps. And when the Eldritch traps are popped before they are summoned, they just don't have an effect. So this is really great against them. Then 3 D-Shifter, not D-Shifter, 3 DD Guide. I never got this Veiled as well, or Impermed, which is really good. Because people are not playing that many Veilers or Imperms this format, and especially if you go against Mystic Mind, you're not going to play a Veiler or an Imperm in game 2. So in game 2, when I went first, I could just side this in, and they had nothing against this. So this would go to their side of the field. I can activate Mystic Mind, and then they are under Mystic Mind, so no more Ashes as well, and I can play my Pot of Desires. And finally in my side deck I was playing 3 MST. People were really confused that I'm playing 3 MST, but whenever I went second I just sided in 3 MST. I sided in the Cosmic, I sided in the Duster, and I would have been more comfortable to just side in 3 Cosmic, 3 MST, because Anti-Spell is so much played this format, and Anti-Spell just kills mine. There was a point in the history of mine where you would play 3 Cosmic Cyclone as well in your side deck, just to out IO, because people had found so many ways to just search IO, and this is kind of the coming back of Cosmic Cyclone on the side deck. And it worked out really well. Against the Eldritch matchup, it was great too. People asked me if this deck was for a different format, and I told them no, I just beat a Lich player with it. And they were confused and a bit in awe. My extra deck is just stuff from the Alba structure deck, so just I don't even know the names. Mirror Jade, I know that one, and Albion, but yeah, that's it. You obviously cannot show your opponent what your extra deck is, but sometimes I feel like the opponents are kind of cheating and they are shuffling like this, and then they see, oh yeah, he's playing Branded maybe, and they prepare for Branded, but in reality I'm playing Mystic Mine. You can play with your facial expressions as well. Like sometimes I was, after using Extravagance, oh no, shit, not saying all my Albions got banished, but still acting as if I got hurt by what got banished. My matchups were, I finished 5-4. My matchups were Brave Salad, which I lost 2-0. I felt like I could have won that one. I misplayed a bit. Then Adventure Punk, I played pretty well, I have to say. And it was a really close matchup that I won 2-1. Against Salad, I won 2-0, which is insane as well, because Salad is not a good matchup. Because the traps can get rid of their own monsters, mine can be destroyed. The traps, you cannot use something like the huge revolution is over, which was one of the reasons why I wasn't playing huge revolution in this deck. Then I played against Eldritch, I won 2-0, then I played against Eldritch again, which I lost in time 2-1. Then I played against Sword Soul, which I barely won in time 2-1. Then I lost 2-0 against Striker. I made the mistake of going first when I won the die roll, and it was a blind second Striker deck, and I was just completely unlucky that game. Like, I had a set Demise of the Land, one mine in hand, then I activated Extravagance, drew 2 cards, and I drew 2 of my mines. So my Demise was then just completely dead. Then I played against Flunder, which was a kind of going second Flunder deck as well. The first game I barely lost, and the second game he just showed me that he opened Lightning Storm, 2 Cosmics, and I'm not so sure on the Flunder main deck monsters, but he had everything. And I had a Field Barrier, a Mystic Mine, and I had a Prohibition declared on the Flunder Continuous spell. And the last game was against Despia, and against Despia I obviously won, because, as I said, Despia cannot beat this deck. Yeah, if you would play against Despia with this, you're probably gonna win. I think this deck could have performed way better if I played more against Despia, and I can only recommend this build if you're on a budget, mostly. Play more Cosmic Cyclones, that's the one thing I can advise on. But Salespan is not a good card. Don't play Salespan and Mystic Mine. And yeah, that's all I can say. And Pot of Prosperity is overrated. And you should not play a deck that is focused on left arm offering, because you want to set your counter traps. Because otherwise, if they have any removal, even if you skull block them with prohibitions, chances are they just have one piece of removal that you didn't prohibition them on. Yeah, that was my deck for the Nationals. Hope you liked it.